Hi, this is Derek Murphy of Creativity. I'm starting this video to talk a little bit about Guerrilla Publishing, which is a new course that I'm putting up and kind of working on right now. I'm in Southern Bulgaria. I have this awesome view, and I actually came here just to make videos and show you this view, but I actually found out that I can't. The lighting is not good to see me and the view also, so I'll talk a little bit about the course and then I'll show you the view after I'm done. Basically, I've been working with authors for the last 10 years. I've done a lot of book design and book marketing, but recently I'm just focused on writing my own books and making a living with my writing so that I don't really need to work with clients anymore. So I started putting out these courses to help share some of the knowledge I've gained in the publishing industry over the last decade and try to make it easier for you to do the things that you need to do to have a successful book. And there's different definitions of successful. A lot of people will say, you know, if you finished your book, you're successful, or there's different kinds of success that aren't necessarily monetary. That's fine. For me, the definition of success is finishing a book and getting it in front of the right readers and having the right readers like your book, enjoy your book. If you write a book that nobody enjoys, I wouldn't call it successful, even if it was fulfilling for you personally. So you may have a different version of success, that's fine. When I'm talking about making a book successful in my materials or my courses, I'm not necessarily talking about earning a great income, because that depends on the size of your market, but I am talking about satisfying a certain readership and having them enjoy the book and review it well, and hopefully also make some money, because the more money you make with your books, the more time you can spend focusing on your craft and writing more books, which I think is something that's attractive to any writer. So a couple years ago, I put out Book Marketing is Dead, which is kind of a simple view of my kind of book marketing. And the thing that I was saying in that book is that it's mostly about relationships. Authors need to stop being spammy and just posting their book on Facebook or Twitter. And you really have to focus on providing value, finding the right type of people, being nice, providing value, helping other people. If you focus on giving value to a certain group, which is probably going to be the type of person, the type of reader who enjoys your kind of writing, that's going to make it so much easier to earn a living or to be successful in the future. So I put out Book Marketing is Dead. I put out a lot of templates and tutorials for book design and book formatting. I started making videos last year on YouTube, and it's up to about 200,000, maybe 300,000 views now, mostly because people are desperate to learn how to do some things themselves. Because if you're self-publishing, you always have this problem there's two problems. One is overwhelm of knowledge, because you have to learn so many things. Most writers, they like the idea of publishing with a traditional publisher, because then somebody else will do everything for them and they can just focus on writing. And that can be valuable, but there's also reasons you may want to self-publish, because self-publishing gives you a lot more control and the earnings can be quite a bit higher. The problem with self-publishing is that you're responsible for everything, and that can be a bad thing, especially when it comes to book design, because you will probably hire a book designer and then tell them what you want. And the thing that you want on your book cover is probably not the thing that's actually going to sell the book to readers of your genre or your subject. That's something that a professional book cover designer would know, and only authors who pay a talented book cover designer and then listen to his advice or her advice, they're really going to get the benefit out of that relationship. A lot of indie authors come into that relationship looking for a designer who will make them what they think they want on their cover, and that's usually a mistake if you've never designed a cover before or you don't know what kind of covers sell books to readers of your genre. So I put out a lot of videos and templates for book design, because book design is so important. I talk a lot about it. But then recently I launched my first book marketing course, because a lot of the stuff that I talk about in my books you can't really learn just by reading, especially if it's design related, or if I'm talking about some new service or software, even simple things like, you know, taking your files and uploading them to Kindle or CreateSpace or other print-on-demand publishers and distributors. There's a lot of things I can teach you better with screenshots where I'm actually doing the thing and showing you how it works. So I put out my first course last month. and it went really well. I sold out in about 48 hours. I only had a limited number of slots. It was kind of to test to make sure that I could do courses and that people wanted my courses. That went well. The problem with my first course was that there's so much knowledge to share. I didn't really condense it as well as I should have. So there's a ton of material that's useful, but like I mentioned earlier, overwhelm is the main problem. So I don't want to give authors too much information. I don't want to make things more stressed. I don't want to have like 100 hours of videos for you to watch. It'll be a lot more beneficial because I've been testing so many things out. Instead of talking about all the things that you could do, I want to just share the things that you should do that are important, that matter, that get results. A lot of the times, if you've looked at other people's book marketing courses, or even if you search for book marketing and you look at like the free articles that are out there, most of that advice is really bad. The reason it's bad is often, on the one hand, those people are selling services, so they don't really want to fix your problems or teach you how to market your book successfully, because they want you to hire them to promote your book or to advertise your book. And the problem with advertising and promoting your book is that they're one-off fixes. You'll do it one time, you'll pay someone to do something for you, but you're not building your own platform, and you're not setting up yourself for recurring success that's easy. What most authors think of as book marketing is really stuff that doesn't work, or they do it once and they have to keep repeating it. They have to do it all the time. And that's why that kind of book marketing fails, because you always need to put in more time or more money to keep it going. And that's why authors really hate the idea of book marketing, because they feel like they don't want to be marketing their books. They just want to set everything up once right, and go back to their writing. Or they want to pay someone else to do it. My form of book marketing is really, you set up an author platform that works, you launch the book really well. You don't need to maintain it or to keep working on it or to keep marketing all the time. That's not really what you should be doing. If your book doesn't stick, you launch it, you get a number one bestseller ranking. If it doesn't stick, if your rank drops, there's a problem with your essential platform, which is your book cover or your reviews or your book description, which is really important. If you haven't gotten those perfect, your rank is always going to drop, so you're always going to have to feed the beast with more promotion or more marketing or more advertising. What you need to do, and what I focused on in my first course, is just fixing all the problems so that when you launch a book, it sells well, you get a lot of reviews quickly, and it stays there, and it earns revenue, and you can focus on writing other books. That's kind of the dream, and that's very attainable if you know what you're doing. So I started building this other course, which is a 21-day author platform series. It's more organized. It's kind of like everything you need to do to build a strong author platform, broken down into 21 daily activities. And I'm actually going to do a free challenge when I launch it, so that every day together we do one thing, and then you can post in the Facebook group for feedback, so I can tell you how to fix it or what's wrong with it. Basically just learning one new thing a day, doing the one thing in a series of 21 days, and you'll end up with an author platform that really works, and you'll be able to launch a book successfully in only 3 weeks, which is a laudable goal. However, there's actually a lot of things, like some authors, they don't want to even build an author platform. They don't want to spend 3 weeks setting it all up. You may not necessarily need to be active on Facebook or social media, Twitter. You may not, if you hate the idea of blogging, you may not need to set up a blog and write hundreds of blog posts, and those probably aren't going to work anyway, unless you're building your website the right way and getting traffic and writing the kinds of posts that get links and traffic. Blogging is probably not going to do very much for you. Also, things like being on YouTube, or there's so many things that you probably should be doing or you've heard you should be doing, but probably don't matter that much. For me, I've built a big author platform because I want to get a lot of traffic to my site so I can focus on my writing. I want to write full time, which means I need to produce a lot more work, so I need to stop spending any time on marketing. So I've focused on building an author platform that's strong, that works, so that I can just focus on going back to my writing. But if you just want to write a book, publish a book, publishing is just book design. So you format your book for print and ebook, you put a great cover on it, that's publishing. You put those files up online, you get them distributed, and then you want to launch a book. So you want to launch a book the right way to get a lot of visibility, a lot of free press, a lot of exposure. You want your ideal readers, you want to be able to reach your ideal readers where they are and give them an offer so that they come back and sign up to your list or buy your book. Personally, I usually give away about 500 ARC, advanced reader copies, but I build my list of targeted readers who like my genre by offering that free book, and then I get about 100 book reviews when I launch in the first couple of days, so that when I'm doing my launch or my advertising, it's more effective, because you can't really promote or market a book unless you already have a lot of reviews. You don't need 100, but you want 10 or 20 before you do any book marketing. Otherwise, you're kind of throwing money away. So if you don't want to set up a full author platform, you don't want to do everything that I recommend in the 21-day author platform series, I'm building this course, which is Guerrilla Publishing. And this is the bare essential crash course guide to publishing and marketing books in a way that doesn't take very much time or money, by focusing only on the things that really matter, that are kind of essential to the experience of launching a bestseller. These are things, for example, like when I launched my first fiction at the beginning of the year, I'm actually launching half books, which is kind of weird, but I launched 4 half books to build my platform. Now they get about 500 downloads a day. Shearwater, which is my first book, has 230 reviews or something like that. They're doing pretty well. Now I'm going to start launching full books and actually focusing on earning money. I've been giving away my books because then I can build my platform. But actually, I was up to like 2,000 or 3,000 a month in income from my fiction in the first few months after publishing. So I did pretty well. I decided to give them away for free because I could build my platform faster and reach more readers faster, which is going to allow me to launch my full books more successfully. But I actually I posted a couple massive blog posts about everything I did for those first 2 book launches. I was doing a lot of experiments. I still do a lot of experiments. I spend a lot of money on things that may not work, but I kind of want to find out if they're worth doing. So now that I have all this experience, when I launch my next book, I'm making a cheat sheet for book launch. And it's basically everything that I'm actually doing to launch my next fiction book, but boiled down into a 1-page template. So like there's a lot of content, but it's just the checklist of things that I'm doing, that I'm going to do. Even though my list is like 15,000 readers, and even though I get traffic and I have a lot of strong relationships, I still want to launch that book really well. I'm planning on getting 1,000 sales in the first week of launch, and then I would like to get 5,000 or 10,000 sales in the first month of launch, but we'll see how that goes. That's mostly how well everything that I do works. But my plan is good, and then it depends a lot on, does my book convert to the right readership enough to sustain sales. But if I get 1,000 sales in the first week, my book will be up on the top of Amazon. If I can get it to stay there in the top, in the top 500, but ideally I'd break into the top 100 and then I'd stay in the top few hundred for a few weeks. If I can do that, I could sell 5,000 or 10,000 copies. But if my book starts tanking, going down, that's mostly just book description and reviews and things like that. So it's always, in some sense, it's always a bit of a gamble. On the other hand, you can do a lot of things the right way to set yourself up for success. Most authors are doing the wrong things, and they're things that take a lot of time and money that don't actually produce any results. So those are the things I would urge you not to focus on. If you're already feeling overwhelmed, you're already unsure, what's worth it, what do I really need to do? If you're looking for a bare essentials checklist, simple breakdown of how to launch a bestseller, I think this course will help. I'm partnering this course with the 21-day author platform so that I think it'll be set up so if you buy the 21-day platform, you'll get this one for free as kind of a package deal, because I know that one is really useful, but this one will be a little faster. If you want to launch, if you have a book, maybe you've launched it or you are going to launch it this week and you're just looking for like last minute tips to really make your launch more successful. But also the 21-day author platform course is more about building your author platform and less about basic publishing stuff. So even though I do talk about it a little bit, so this course I'll also cover how to design and format your book, how to upload your book to CreateSpace for Kindle or Lightning Source or Ingram Spark, what companies you need to be aware of, what tools and software you should be using. But I hope to make this simpler and quicker to consume. This video was the welcome video. It's already at like 16 minutes. So I tend to ramble in my videos, and I'll try not to do that in this course. I'll try to focus on keeping the videos short and to the point, and then giving you actionable homework or steps that you can do to participate in the material and to make sure that you're getting value out of it, and also to give you feedback on the stuff that you're doing. So before I sign off, let me turn the camera around and show you where I am. So this is my view. I'm in Southern Bulgaria, and I actually came here just to research this book about Orpheus that I'm writing. So in Southern Bulgaria, there's a lot of ancient ruins. There's the Thracian civilization that was here, and there's a lot of worship of Dionysus and Orpheus. So one of my young adult fantasy novels is set in this area, and that's really why I came down, but also just to rent out this Airbnb, which is pretty amazing. And I hope to use maybe places like this in the future for writing retreats or events or things like that. So I hope this video helped a little bit, and if you're interested in getting this course, you can check out all of the curriculum that's down below and then see if this is something that you'd be interested in. Thanks a lot.